After completing the grey box and actually getting some playtesting done towards the end of the semester, it then meant that in the second semester we had some valuable feedback to iterate our design and actually complete our final level at the end of the second semester. The first bit of feedback that we got was that the map was still too big. In the previous video I did say that we did cut away a lot of our map. We knew it was way too big from the first week of playtesting. We removed mountains as well as other areas within our map because players just weren't using it. And after doing all that, our map was still too big. So when looking at this floor plan, this is what our map resembled when we handed in our grey box. But because players are saying that it's still way too big, we decided to remove this whole area. This is the area that players just aren't going to because there's no real reason, it doesn't really work out too well, and it's the thing that we've been trying to iterate the most, and it just hasn't worked. And because of all of that, we decided to completely scrap it. There was also parts within our level where we left some water in which players can interact with, and as we did establish within the previous video, players didn't like the water, but we still kept it in some areas, and this just didn't make sense. So for that as well, we also removed the water in these areas, meaning that there is no water throughout our whole map. And the final thing that we wanted to change was the castle itself. This was another part that wasn't working when we play tested our level. There was a parkour element to it which would lead you up to the quad damage, and there was two ways to get it. The first way was doing a bit of parkour within the castle, and the second way was to follow these purple lights, do a jump pad, a few jumps on some pillars, and then it will launch you all the way over to where the quad damage can be found. Players didn't mind the path that led them to that area, but players did not like the parkour up to this area. So we removed the parkour within the castle to get the quad damage. After we made those changes to our level, the next thing for us to do was to start adding polished assets to our level. We used two different packs. The first one was the Infinity Blade Grasslands, and the second one was the multi-story dungeon pack. We thought that we could use a mixture of both of these to get the aesthetics that we were looking for within our level. We completely rebuilt our level from the ground up using these assets, and it took round about 12 weeks for us to bring all of these new assets in to make the changes that we needed to make after playtesting, and for us to actually get this level working with the flow. There was quite a few changes that we had to make, and we wanted to make sure that the functionality was still there. I was responsible for making sure that the player flow was still there and that players were heading to the direction that I wanted them to go to. And on top of that, I was also making sure that the Infinity Blade Grasslands and a multi-story dungeon pack resembled what we wanted to create within the level, and this is the level that we made to hand in. Alongside handing in this level as part of the assignment, we also had to make a video. Yet again, the video was my responsibility. Just like the previous video that we had to make for the hand-in for the grey box, all I had to do for the video was walk around the level showing each and every room, and then I also had to show a bit of gameplay at the end. But this is what I ended up handing in for my level design assignment.